Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel today for another video. In this video today, we're going to be going back to a more anime style centric video today, so if you're uninterested in that, just be aware first and foremost. As always with a lot of these anime videos, I do have to get a few disclaimers out of the way. Today we will be talking about the series Bleach and the upcoming anime for it. If you are not up to date or if you do not want to be spoiled, do be warned that this video will contain spoilers. You have been warned. As well as the video in the background, as always, is just a montage of Bleach that I found on YouTube. If you're interested in looking at it for yourself, it will be linked down in the description, just like it always is in all of my videos. As well as everything in this video is purely just my opinion. If you don't agree with it, that's perfectly fine. In fact, comment down below if you don't agree with it. I'd love to have a conversation with you about why you don't, and etc, etc. You get the point. And last little disclaimer here. Look, I say it in all my videos for a reason. 95% of the people who watch my videos aren't even subscribed. I've been gaining a lot more subscribers in the past like week or two than I have in a long time, and so thank you guys. I appreciate you for that, but that also means I have to continue to give this speech. So if you aren't subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you just went down below, hit the subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me, and maybe eventually in the future we'll get to a point where I don't have to say this speech anymore. We'll see. Only one can only hope. One can only hope. But if you guys could go ahead and go down the description, or excuse me, go down below and make sure you're subscribed, I would appreciate it. Now, why am I talking about Bleach today? Well, to be honest, there are a few reasons. If you are unaware, if you're not as in touch with the anime scene as maybe most other people are, you will not know that in a few months here, coming up soon, Bleach anime will be returning. Bleach's anime will be returning with the final arc of Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, which was the final arc in the manga, which ended a few years ago at this point. And it has gotten a lot of people quite excited because obviously, if you have never seen or read Bleach, well, first off, why are you even here? I gave the whole spoiler warning. You should probably leave. But if you haven't read or watched Bleach, it is one of the big three in manga at the time. A few years ago, the big three was One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. And Bleach, obviously being one of them, was quite the popular series. It was one of the highest selling manga at the time. And for all of the complaints and problems people have with the series, one thing you can't say is that it was unpopular. It always has been quite popular, especially the anime. So the fact that it was finally announced that the anime would get its final arc adapted, and not to mention the arc in general is actually pretty good, it's gotten a lot of people quite excited to see a lot of the things that they read a few years ago in the manga finally get to be adapted into the anime, and myself included in that, which is a surprise because I actually have said this in another video before, but up until about 2 years ago-ish, I actually had never read or watched Bleach. I don't know, I just never was really a Bleach person. I was always more of a Naruto guy. Eventually I became a One Piece guy too, and you know, that kind of thing. But it was only about 2 years ago that I finally got around to watching all of Bleach, and I understood why a lot of people loved it as much as they did when I finally got into it. Now, again, you may be asking yourself, all of this hype is good and you know, all that sort of thing. It's exciting, great, but why am I making a video about it today? Well, the main reason is because, well, yes, I am hyped, but I have made videos in the past, multiple videos in fact, about different anime series that I was excited for or that I thought was cool or anything like that. And I've made videos about them in the past, and not necessarily did I not enjoy making those videos or did they not necessarily do well or anything like that. I just wanted to kind of mix it up today. So today I decided to talk more about a lot of the systems in Bleach and a lot of the story in Bleach and why I'm exactly excited for some of the things that are going to be happening in the upcoming anime. Now, if you are unaware about Bleach, the way the power system works is that every Shinigami, aka Soul Reaper, has a Zanpakuto, or basically the sword that they carry, and every single sword has two forms of release, basically like power-ups. Think going Super Saiyan in Dragon Ball. Basically, it's the equivalent of that in Bleach. So every sword has a initial like stage 1 release where it is just a little bit more powerful than a regular sword, and it gives you a little ability, if you will, depending on what sword it is. And then eventually you get to the Bankai stage of your sword, which is its most powerful form, where you get your own really cool customized power based on your sword. Now, personally, I find this to be one of the most interesting and fun power systems in all of anime. Why, you ask that is? Well, to be honest, there's a few reasons. A, I'm just a dude who really likes swords. Like, like just being honest about it. I just really enjoy like swords and that kind of thing. So having a power system centered around how strong somebody's sword is, I think is very interesting. Not to mention the fact that each of these swords that people have has a very unique and interesting power in of itself that you really know nothing about until that person is fighting. It just adds this more in-depth layer and interesting layer to every single fight that you come across in the series, because you ask yourself, okay, if this Shinigami is fighting this Shinigami, what's their Bankai, what's their Shikai, which is the first release. I don't think I mentioned that a second ago, but Shikai was like that first initial release that I talked about, and Bankai was the second stage release. So you always tend to ask yourself like, oh, I wonder what their Bankai is going to look like, I wonder how strong they're going to be, those sort of questions that you don't get answered until that person is fighting, which is an aspect of the anime or just the story overall that I personally enjoy quite a bit, and I think will be put on full display eventually once we get into this new anime series. Because if you are unaware, in this series there are quite a few characters at this point in the anime. Obviously the manga's finished, so we know this information now, but in the anime there's a lot of characters whose Bankai we know nothing about, that we've never seen, that we know that they're strong characters, but we just don't know exactly how strong they are because we haven't ever seen them use their full power. And I think obviously I have read the manga, so I know their powers now, but getting to see these powers in the anime I think is going to be very, very cool for a lot of people, including myself. It's going to be really hype and really enjoyable to watch, because then you begin to get a full grasp on exactly how strong certain characters are and where they match up against other characters. You get to see fights in this final arc that you've been looking forward to a lot, and you get to see characters fight again or fight for the first time, and you get to see exactly how strong they are and where they rank at compared to the characters that you already know, and it's just a really overall enjoyable time. Not to mention as well that the enemies in the upcoming arc, which again, spoiler warning, I'll just throw out one more time, is Yuha Bach and the Quincy's, who are the final enemy for this arc, where they will invade the Soul Society and attempt to take over and kill all the Shinigami, etc., etc. I'm sure you all know about this at this point, but basically it turns into a gigantic war between the Quincy's and the Shinigami, and the Quincy powers I think are really cool as well, because not only do they have a very unique power system in their own right, because the Shinigami's power system is already so unique, then the Quincy's come in and also have their very own unique power, where they have their Volt Standing and their Let's Steals and things along those lines, as well as other just Quincy powers overall that a lot of them have, that are really interesting and really cool, where they all are also very unique in their own rights with their powers. And it just creates scenarios in the anime and slash manga where every fight is really interesting, every character is extremely powerful and can change the tide of the battle at any point in time throughout the entire war arc, which just makes for a very enjoyable experience into what I accumulate to be probably the highlight of Bleach. As much as I am a super big fanboy of the original Soul Society arc and a lot of the things that happened in that arc, this final arc of Bleach, let me tell you, is very, very fun and very, very cool to see. As somebody who has now read the manga after it finished, I will tell you, you should be excited, because a lot of the powers, a lot of the battles, a lot of the fights are just really fun and really cool overall. Not to mention the story picks up quite a bit right away. It doesn't take too long to get a lot of interesting questions that we didn't know about answered, which I think is always a great plus in anime. Now, of course, Bleach has a lot of flaws. As much as I love the series, I think anybody who likes the series also will admit that the series does have a lot of flaws, and I think that will also be displayed quite a bit in this final arc of the anime as well, because obviously, if you are unaware, Tite Kubo, or the author of the original manga, has stated multiple times that at the time where he was coming close to finishing the Bleach manga, he was getting a lot of pressure from his higher ups at Shonen Jump, who were pressuring him to finish. So he didn't get to flush out things and finish things the way he necessarily wanted to. In fact, he was rushed quite a bit, and the story, especially at the end, takes a big hit for that. So that is also a preface that I think needs to be made, because as much as I will sing the praises and as much as I am excited for this upcoming anime series, or season, excuse me, I also am very wary because I know a lot of the things that happen in this upcoming arc. I mean, I've read the manga, like I said, I know everything that happens. And while there are a lot of satisfying, fun, and just really cool things that happen, there is also a fair share of disappointing and just upsetting things that happen with the story, which unfortunately at this point seems to be just the running thing with Bleach. But overall, I'm still very excited for how good I think the anime is going to be, because I do think it is going to be really great, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it. And I think the way that overall that the story ended for Bleach is very enjoyable and very good overall, despite the fact that I do have some qualms with it. I'm just excited for it, and I wanted to make a video about it, basically kind of talking about it, talking about a little bit about the power system and why I enjoy Bleach at the level that I do, despite the fact that I have a lot of issues with it and a lot of things that I wish were different about the series. You know, I'm still excited, I'm still looking forward to it, and I think that's where a lot of people stand on it. Now, with all that being said, I do think at some point in the future, probably once the anime is being released more actively, I'm gonna come back and make a video with a lot of the problems that I have with the final arc in more details. I just want to get a basic level here about what's gonna happen when it comes out, so people's expectations are where they should be, in my opinion. Either way though, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. However, like I said, I will probably be making that video in the future, so if you are looking forward to that, go ahead and subscribe now so you can watch that video whenever it comes out and turn on notifications. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later, and I post new videos every single day, so you're bound to find a new video that you enjoy at some point in time. As well as, if you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and leave a like down below. Either way though, guys, that is going to be the end of it, so I thank you for watching, I appreciate you, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.